Well, it's the last Friday in the month of February, the 27th day of February 2026. Tomorrow, we end the beautiful month of February and start the month of March. But good morning to you and welcome to GA Today here on GH1 Television. We're live from our studios here at the Platinum Place, Northridge, also live on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube. It's a beautiful Friday, the Friday where we get to hear from President John Dramani Mahama as he delivers the State of the Nation address in line with Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution. Quite a lot of expectations ahead of this State of the Nation address. And like Ibrahim Al-Hassan said yesterday, this would be his own State of the Nation because last year he only had to chronicle what he met as president. But now he's been in office for a little over a year. And so we'll get to understand exactly what has been the transformation agenda, the reset agenda that he promised. Where are we in that particular agenda? So good morning once again and welcome aboard the show this morning as well. We'll be having conversations with, of course it's a Friday, so we'll be having conversations with my senior colleagues in the Inky fraternity. But do we even do inks now? We'll have conversations with them as well and have quite a number of interviews as well lined up for your viewing pleasure this morning. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Unfortunately, I'm flying solo this Friday, but it's going to be exciting. We'll also bring you that live coverage of the State of the Nation address. So keep your dials locked in here on GH1 Television. If you have any reason to leave home, make sure you are following us on our live streams on social media as well. A very good morning to Miraculous. Baby Na, you are watching and calling me. I don't know what you want. Let's check out the quote of the day. And our quote this morning is from Ruth Gordo. Courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it by use. Courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it by use. So whatever it is, you need to put that courage to use. You need to put that faith to work because Bible says faith without works is dead. Nadekia doesn't know this. She doesn't go to Sunday school. Anyways, it's a Friday, so let's set the tone for the weekend with our video of the day. And I don't know who is learning Payday's rap for this one. You know, usually when R2B drops a track, people just like to script out Payday's rap. Yeah. Payday, Medical, who else? Yeah, well, I'll talk about them later. But that's it. That's the video of the day. Today is Sona, the State of the Nation Address day, and I'm sure that you are also in high anticipation of what we are expecting President John Dramani Mahama to tell us. Some have said that perhaps the notes would have to be reviewed and revised because of the challenges that we are facing with electricity. There's been that caution from PURC. They've directed ECG to make sure that these discrepancies are investigated and that we get to see the finality to these issues. And I'm sure that President Mahama might touch on that as well. The cocoa hurdle, a very, very big one. But this morning, some news coming through. Let me quickly fetch that for you from Cocoa Board. So the director or the head of public affairs at Cocoa Board, Jerome Kwekusam, he says that they have paid a total of 3.62 billion Ghana cedis to the licensed buying companies after the announcement made by the finance minister, and that they are also ongoing to the payments are still ongoing. So that's the news coming in from Cocoa Board, that they've paid 3.62 billion Ghana cedis to the LBCs, and more payments are expected to be made in the coming days. So for cocoa farmers who have not been paid, some have not been paid for 4 months, others for 3 months, the LBCs are receiving money. At least 3.62 billion has been paid to them. So you should be getting your cash shortly to ameliorate the challenges that confronts cocoa farmers in the country as a result of, you know, the industry problems, I should say. So yes, now it's time for Inside Out, where we get to hear from you. And so let's get there. All right, so this is where we get to hand you the microphones for you to air your views, to hear from you as well. And so the numbers will be shortly on your screens. For those of you who have not saved our numbers, I mean, I'll ask again, why? Let's get the numbers and let's hear from you what your expectations are or what is on your mind this Friday morning. Let's check out my first caller. Hello there, good morning. Good morning,
Joshua Kodjo Mensah. How do you do?
How do you do, my brother?
I'm doing terrible. This is your brother King Kaka from Takwa.
Right, my brother. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm managing. You know, the racial agenda is on. So
right.
I'm feeling in my pocket and I'm feeling in the system.
I like the fact that you are feeling it, because some people say they are not feeling it too.
Oh, they are hypocrites. Unless they want to. They just don't want to say the truth.
Okay.
So right now, the dollar is down. The fuel is down. Mm-hmm. You know, the atmosphere is cooling now.
I like that. What's on your mind, my brother?
Joshua, what is in my mind? I want to talk to my president. The man I work hard for him to come to power. Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I'm not happy with him. The way he's doing with the MPP criminals. Walking freely in Ghana here. Every day, above. And the State of Nation Address, I want him to show us those people, the Sky Train, the Pualubu Dam, the what have you, corrupt states have gone, the PDS, the PDS, all those scandals are there. Why is those people involved are working free?
Oh, but some of the cases have been tried in court.
Oh, Masa, it's long overdue. When Kufo was a president, he commissioned a court called Fast High Strike Court. You're supposed to get those kind of court, the Oriel Court, and give it to maybe this man, the former attorney, the former auditor general. What is his name?
Domelevo.
Let him give it to Domelevo. Let him give it to the lawyer practitioner. I'm forgetting his name. Let them strike it fast, and let us collect our money, because the money they are sitting on it. We can collect it to help and push it other forces.
Right.
Do the way some forcing and some agency they are working. Look the way the DVLA board, they are all doing renovation. See the road ministry.
Oh, well, I lost my brother
Hello?
there from Takwa, but we have
Hello?
another call on the line. Hello there, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fantastic.
My name is Ibrahim. Hello?
Right, Ibrahim, what's on your mind?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning
Hello?
to you.
How are we?
By grace, we are doing well. Most people say they are managing. Are you also managing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm expecting my president to just tell the driver that you bring the lorry fare down and transportation to come down. And secondly, I'm expecting him to try to bring Kenokorata down. And secondly, this behavior, this what the student did, the school, the children did, I will blame the Speaker of Parliament. Hello?
You blame the Speaker of Parliament for what?
Yeah, I have to blame the Speaker of Parliament because we were expecting the report from the one they break the church and even break table. We did not hear anything. We did not see that report first. The one Salazar in fact the paper, we did not hear anything. Second, too, somebody even called the medal of Mr. Rowley. Somebody is not sorry. We're expecting the speaker. The speaker has that, he gives some people warning. By 24 hours, this will happen. All this thing we do not hear. So when the president went, if the president went there, they should tell the speaker to bring those reports out. So that,
Right. Right. Okay. Thank you so much for calling. You can also call. The numbers are on your screens now. We have another caller. Hello there. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, I'm Stephen Della Tucci. I'm calling from Abeka.
Right. My brother, what's on your mind?
Yes. Please, what we, the Ghanaians, are expecting today from the president, we are in this country. Chikata was arrested at a church service. And they are wasting time. A lot of things are happening. We, the youth, we are annoyed. We are not. I mean, people have go wrong a lot. These people should be arrested and put in. The law should be with them. It's like the youth temperature of NDC. We are annoyed of the family. The president. They should put everything fast, because now they are bragging on the street. Up to now, when there are all sorts of things. Please, we are pleading on the president today. He should show that strength of capacity. As we voted for him massively, he should go ahead and do the right thing, and these people should be jailed. Because it's like, what are all these that we are in country? Please, I'm sorry for my this. We are pleading to the president. He should put appropriate measures on place that people should be jailed. Because things are spoiled and he make them fine. Now, look at the way things are going again. I think nothing has, in their tenure of office, nothing has happened. So we want that this thing to be open to them that they did wrong. That is why they were sacked from the power. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for also calling from Abeka. Well, we can also hear from you. We have some few more minutes, so we can pick in some other calls. You can also call us. Let us know what your expectations are ahead of the State of the Nation address today. So far, my callers seem to be displeased about the rate of prosecutions. They say that they would have preferred a speedy one to be able to deal with supposed or alleged persons who caused financial loss to the state. Let's find out from this caller what his thoughts are as well. Hello there, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Kukubu. I'm calling from Tapade, the Western region.
Fantastic. My brother, what are your expectations today?
Well, I'm expecting the president to march on this corruption thing that everybody is saying. And, at times you get worried when you hear people who, before this administration came into power, their own people were accusing them of, embezzlement and other financial malfeasance. So when you hear these people all over the place, as if they are things, as if they are angels, you see, I can bet you and assure you that if tomorrow there's an election and this will get to lose the election, it's not that the president didn't perform. It is because people's trust in him to deal with this nation racket was low. And I think it should give an encouragement to the nation today with his State of the Nation address. Thank you.
Thank you, too, for calling from Takrade Tadi in the Western region. You can also get your thoughts heard. So it's ringing through. It's something that we're hearing from our callers this morning. Most of them calling for an expeditious prosecution of persons who are believed to have looted from the states, because indeed it was one of the cardinal pillars that the NDC campaigned on. Operation Recover All Loot. So are we recovering the loot? And I'm sure that a lot of people want to know the state of those operations. One, we are told that some have had to pay, others would have to face prosecution. What is the true state of these oral cases? And that's what the Ghanaians are asking. That's what people are asking from the president. Hello there, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm calling from Accra.
Okay. My boss, what's on your mind?
Sometimes I wonder whether the John Mama we voted for is the John Mama ruling gang. It's mind-boggling. Seriously, it's mind-boggling. For the past 1.5 years, look, everything is shambolic. The ideologies, the principles on which Ghanaians voted for this man, they are all draining. The little boys put in power are becoming opulent. The talk that we made conveys Ghanaians about the corruption, bribery that goes on. It's not what is happening. We realize that our people are even doing more than the MPP. I watch your station day in, day out. It's like we are in talk competition. We are not seeing any action. We, the grassroots, are getting disappointed. There's anger on the ground. So Mama shouldn't repeat what he did within the 2013 to 2016. We are fed up. If we don't see any action as far as this, I don't know what he's going to talk about. This is decorating every issue with talk. He's a beautiful talker. Is it a beautiful talk that is in our pocket? We are sending a signal to them, especially the Interior Minister. We saw what MPP did as far as the recruitment is concerned. They shouldn't push us to the wall. If they dare us, we let them understand that we voted for the power. We went into the nook and cranny of this country for them to hold those positions. My brother, all that we are saying to John Mama is that he should put his feet on the ground. Put his feet on the ground. Those people they put into positions, they didn't vote for the party to come to power. The grassroots are angry. We are tired with the talk. We don't need beautiful talk, action. We need food on our tables. We need job to do. It's getting shameful to even identify yourself as an MPP, NDC member in the first place. People are laughing at our people. Go to the various ministries. A minister will boldly tell an NDC people that I'm not here because of NDC. What are you talking to us about? Please, those communicators that come there, those they are sorting out, the grassroots is angry. If they joke, that apathy that threw MPP off, NDC own will be more than that. I wish you guys well.
Well, thank you so much, and keep watching GH1 television. So the sentiments are pretty clear from the grassroots members of the NDC. They are demanding more action, and they say if that is not done, they will be very displeased with the party. They say that indeed a lot of things are going well, but until action is taken on perceived looters of the state, they will not be pleased. Well, let's find out from our next caller what the sentiments are. Hello there, good morning. Hello. Okay. Well, you can also call and let us know exactly what your expectations are, what's on your mind this morning, and let me know if your thoughts differ from all that we've heard from our callers, varied callers from the Western region, from the Greater Accra region, scattered across, basically similar sentiments running through. Let us know if your thoughts are any different from what they are also sharing with us this morning. Because at 10 a.m., we are told that's the advertised time, but we know usually these things run late. Hopefully, today will be different. Let's check out from our next caller. Hello there, good morning. Hello, caller. Can you hear me? Okay. Looks like the lines are being a bit tricky, but you can still call. I'm sure sometimes when you're calling it's jammed because others are also calling in. But don't give up. We've got some few more minutes to do this. So call us, let us know exactly what your thoughts are ahead of the State of the Nation address. Quite a number of things President Mahama will be talking about, from infrastructure to health to social security. We are also expecting updates on the 24-hour economy. He'll be telling us more about that as well. Nkite will definitely feature in that. Macroeconomic stability, from the exchange rate to general cost of living. We'll be hearing from the president on those matters as well. But let's check out our next caller. Hello there, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, please. My name is Felix. I'm calling from Kodjo.
Okay, if you could just speak up a bit for me so that you'll be more audible to my audience as well.
Pardon?
Yes, if you could just speak up a bit for me.
I should call you back.
No, I'm saying speak up. If you could just speak louder for me.
Okay. My name is Felix. I'm calling from Kodjo.
Okay, Felix, what's on your mind?
Okay. So please, concerning the... Okay, hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you, Felix.
Okay, sir. So please, concerning the state of the state of the nation addressed by the president. So please, I'm expecting them to talk about something. For me, what I'm quite interested in, something about the rent. I don't know, they have not been talking about this for a while, but I'm expecting the government of Ghana or the president to talk about something about the rent, because I learned that they have a rent bill. But for now, for a while now, most of the presidents, they have not helped us to pass the bill. Because in this country, rent is an issue for the young people who are to unemployment. So I'm expecting the government to do something about it.
Fantastic. Felix, thank you so much for calling. Felix says he wants to hear about rent.
Hello?
Yeah, Felix?
Hello?
Hello? Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yeah, I'm calling from Tamale.
Right. What's on your mind? What are your expectations of the State of the Nation address?
Yeah, we are expecting Mr. President to tell us about oral. Oral.
Right.
The thing that they loot, the past government, the thing that they loot, you think they are forgetting of it. And then it is part of their campaign. If they can do something on that. And one important thing is, Northern Ghana, you just vanished from multi-TV. It is hard to get you. And here, the terrestrial, we are not so many people are access to that side to watch you. Mm-hmm. And we love you too much. So do something for the multi-TV for you to reappear again.
Okay. Very well noted.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, my brother, for also calling and sharing your thoughts with that. So unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you. But thank you so much. Grateful that you always make time every single Friday to call into the show. This is our relationship. That's the contract, the social contract that we have with you. And we're excited to always hear from you. So that's it for Inside Out. Charlie, the things that happen in this studio sometimes. Anyways, well, it's time to bring you sports chat. And Jones ADZI. Today he's the most annoying person in my life. And Jones, if you cross my camera, me and you today, because already you didn't go to any proper school, yet you are making so much noise, so much noise, so much noise. Wow, look.
Director.
This is improper
Alumni games.
Oh.
Alumni games. Alumni games. Put on your listen.
Do you know when I got out of school?
Masa.
You these Gen Zs, sometimes I wonder, when I completed pre-sec, you had not even got to class 5 or class 4.
It doesn't matter. So, alumni games, we are here. Oh, director, I know they hear.
You know they hear. Come on, cut it and let's talk. He's beginning to irritate me with his improper dressing. I mean, is this what Mauli reduces you to? What? Improper dressing.
You see,
this is all you know.
You see, culture. You see, when your school does not appreciate culture, this is what you always say. When you don't appreciate culture, this is what you always say. When your school knows what culture is, they would always understand what this means.
So what culture is this?
You don't know this? You don't know?
Which culture
let me tell you, in Mauli we call it Sukuvi. Yes, you see, you don't know culture. But anyway, it's actually all about the alumni power games, and that's what is going to be a lot of rivalry. See, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of battle on the field. We are not going to do it like what you see with the intercore. No. It's going to be super fun, healthy rivalry. It's a lot of games, 7-a-side football. We're having arm wrestling. There's a sack race. There's volleyball. There's basketball. And we're expecting Bolare to play basketball for Accra Academy. Josh, yeah.
If Bola plays for Accra, I will play for Presec.
You say what?
I will play for Presec and I will dunk on him.
It be basketball. You know be.
No, but you know Presec.
I know you.
You know Presec when it comes to basketball.
I know you.
That is our specialty.
I know you can do lineman.
You are talking to me like that.
We all we know. So today there's going to be the launch. Will be happening on GHOne TV around 1 p.m. Make sure you are glued to your TV sets because we'll have the launch right here on GHOne TV, telling you all about the games. But then it is on the 28th of March at the LWAC Social Center. Don't forget that there is a number to call if you want to be part of the games. You know, you have to actually reach out to your year group. You want to be part of the games because it's going to be more vibes. We have Inchin Band in there. We have some Jama as well. Right. Now, for the people who love Bobo, we are putting together some Bobo as well, and it's going to be super. I mean, football.
Bobo, Ola girls be there to dance Bobo.
Oh, but you know, Ola girls. Yeah, a bad man. Yeah, a bad man.
I like Bobo. Nah,
you like Bobo?
You want Bishop Herman boys to come and dance Bobo? For who to watch? My friend.
Anyway, so Joshua, any favorite memory from school? That's all for sports today. I mean, today.
Oh, yeah. So the launch is at 3 p.m. today on GHOne television. So once we're done with the politics, listening to President Mahama tell us about the state of the nation, we are launching the GHOne TV alumni power
game. So numbers to call. 0244. Let's do it like the way that 3 people do it. If I mention, then you. Okay? Are you ready? 0244.
Call.
09 28
that's it
57.
That's right.
They say Fred 0244 09 28 57 and now 020 88 74 039 020 88 74 039. So these are the numbers to call for the alumni power games. Bring your school. Some of your schools don't get to the national size and mass quiz. This is opportunity to get on TV. This is opportunity for us to know
like Mauli.
No. We
Maoli.
are always at the national side
You
of
know,
our schools.
Maoli will be competing with the Garis in the Gary Sokins. You know, that's where they are good at eating
You see,
Gary.
you have
without
to, you see,
milk.
you should always appreciate your roots because Gary saved people.
Your
The boys jammed the world to Medina to buy Gary.
You see, don't
your school, the
don't
boys jammed the
glorify
world to Medina to buy Gary.
Don't glorify poverty.
Anyway, that's the best school.
Charlie,
that's the best school. No, director, go back again before I go.
I don't know why the director is misbehaving today.
No, director.
It's okay. No, remove
show them
this.
that. Show them. That's the HR. That's the HR. If you like, speak against HR. Speak.
Can we move on?
That's all. Today we'll be on at 3 p.m. GHOne TV is the place to be. The Alumni Power Games. My name is GHOne Zera, and of course, we're outside.
Please go outside, because at this point in time, I don't want to do you again. I'm done with Joe's. But of course, on the 28th of March, we are all converging at the El Waxport Stadium. It's going to be massive. All the alumni from Presec and the other schools, you can come and converge. By 21st of March, make sure that you're registering your school. It's very important. Presec again and the rest. We'll see you right after this break. We'll have the conversations. Tone for the weekend. An exciting weekend it is. We're looking forward to it. But let's bring you the weekly review segment. Well, this morning we are sitting with, in fact, I'm sitting with three gentlemen who will be helping us appreciate the issues that have made the rounds this week. And of course, let me start with Stephen Asiedu, who is president of the Young Professionals Network. He's joining us this morning, and he's joining the usual suspects, Ibrahim Al-Hassan, who is head of current affairs here at the EIB network, and of course, one of the most popular guests we have on this network. Last week, he celebrated his birthday. He cut his cake here, but he did not eat the cake because he's fasting. But then he's here this week. Audu Mahama is managing editor of the Custodian newspaper. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Audu, last week you were in a white shirt.
Yes.
Today you are in black.
Yes, I'm in black, mourning with the cocoa farmers.
Oh, okay.
In solidarity.
Are they mourning?
They are.
Oh, because some are okay.
Yeah, 56% of them, according to Musa
According to Musa Dankwa, 56% of them say they're okay.
It's only in Musa Dankwa survey that a cocoa farmer who probably has 100 bags of cocoa, his 100,000 is taken away and he's still happy. A cocoa farmer who has 100 bags, it's over 100,000 Ghana cedis taken away from him, and he'll be clapping hands and happy. The government has done well for me. It's only a Musa Dankwa survey.
Interesting. Yeah. But I mean, this morning I received a message from GHOne,
yes.
The head of public affairs for Cocoa Board.
Yes.
He says they've paid about 3.62 billion Ghana cedis to the LBC. So the cocoa farmers who are owed
11 billion.
Yes.
Out of 11 billion.
Yes. He says it's an ongoing process, but so far 3.62 billion has been paid to the LBC.
Okay, it's a good
so the
start.
cocoa farmers are not mourning too much.
They will mourn looking, because the money they are paying them now, they spent it already. If you have worked with cocoa farmers, you've been with them. They borrow ahead to spend, to pay school fees, to pay electricity bills, to do all manner of things. Yeah. So when the money comes in, they offset whatever they've taken. So what they've taken now will not go into their pocket straight away. It will go to their creditors.
Right.
Is it their debtors or creditors?
They owe, so the debtors.
So but it's good that at least if you are able to pay your debt, you sleep soundly. But they will not laugh at all.
Yeah.
Especially when they know the future is not good for them.
Yeah.
It's a future that the reduction has been done for them. Okay. You understand?
Right.
And last time I was here on this cocoa.
Last week you were very popular. You became very popular.
Yes, and I was giving some Charlie flyer went around, and a story was done out of it, and I was receiving calls. Especially from the MPP guys. They say, why did I betray them like that? That I said, we MPP. That's what I never said that here. We MPP mismanage Cocoa Board. I never said that. How can I say that? Because what I said was that they said MPP has mismanaged the economy.
Yes.
And the Cocoa Board is part of the economy. So they knew during campaign that Cocoa Board was in distress. And yet, they said they were going to make it better, and that they were going to increase the price from 3,100 to 6,000. They knew all those things. So I said they should fix it. That was what I said. I never said we MPP mismanaged. But
so it wasn't an admittance. You didn't admit.
How
that
can I admit to this? Because look, what MPP left behind was left behind for MPP. Whatever you saw in 2017 was something, whatever MPP NDC saw in 2025 was almost the same MPP met in 2017.
Right.
So it's nothing new. Cocoa Board has been struggling for years. So it's not MPPs that has mismanaged. And that was not what caused the reduction in prices. Because even with the so-called mismanagement, this government added how much? Over 500 Ghana. With the mismanagement, all of a sudden you are reducing the price and you are blaming the previous government for the debt it left. With all the debt and all the problems, you were able to increase the price for them by about 500. And you now, because of your own the external factors that you don't want people to talk about because you said external factors did not matter in Ghana. Because whatever happened in global, in outside, is far away from Ghana, and so therefore it has no effect. If COVID, that killed over 6 million people globally, did not affect Ghana, why would cocoa price affect Ghana?
Right. Okay.
So that is it. Point well made.
Yeah.
If it's not well, I'm sure those who misquoted.
Well, we'll do a flyer for you.
Oh no, we did for him.
We've done
They
that.
did.
We'll cut the video.
But that one didn't. That one
The damage has already been caused.
Oh, but it's all well and good. You
Absolutely.
see, these things happen. Sometimes, the last time, Oprah Minute, there was a good story attributed to me that I went for a lecture, an economic forum, and I spoke. Charlie, the fundamental, very brilliant piece. I never went to me. I'm not an economist.
Yeah.
I didn't, and they gave me that story.
Wow.
Somebody sent it to me. They said, I didn't say this. I don't take what is not. I don't.
Yeah, you don't
end.
take
I've not
credit
end.
for-
Okay.
yeah,
Yes. I said
absolutely.
no. I didn't say this. So I responded. The people sent it to me. So no. It's a good story.
But it's
it's a PR thing for me. But I didn't say this.
That's all.
Because I'm not an economist. I've been a.
All right. So let's get to today's topics, and quite a lot is happening. But yesterday, we're told that indeed some 71 fishermen. I watched the videos, and the first question I asked my wife, are these men? Some of them are not men.
Yeah.
I could see young boys who were rescued as well, but these people we are told, were attacked at sea, and so there were some distress calls, and then the Navy patrol, working together with other security agencies, were able to rescue about 71 of them. So it's not just about our land. Now, even at sea, we are still not too safe there. Stephen, let me start with you.
Yes, in fact, I was completely broken when I saw the story, making the rounds. I was like, what is happening? We are no longer safe on land. We are also not safe in our water bodies, So I was praying that our security forces would put their shoulder to the wheel and rescue these fisher folks. But thankfully, that was done. I want to commend the Ghana Armed Forces for stepping in swiftly and bringing back our fisher folks to their families, because that would have been a very bad, news for us. Already, last year has been very difficult with a lot of, lives being lost. So we didn't want to have, this year starting like that. So far, we've not had any bad, events of the sort. So we're praying that we continue the year like that. So yes, Burkina was the only, one that was troubling. But we are hoping that we don't have any more of those going forward. So yes, I want to commend the Ghana Armed Forces. But that brings to question our preparedness when it comes to security, both on land and on sea.
Right.
Already we are losing the Galamsey fight. And I don't see how we also lose the fight, the marine fight, because if we look at the contribution of fishing to our economy, it is so significant that a good amount of investment should go into building the needed infrastructure for security of our fisher folks. And checking around the world, I realized that one of the major things that is affecting us as a country is that we have not invested much in marine security.
Okay.
And of course, if you are dealing with operatives who know that you have weak security systems, you become an easy target, So my call to government and to all stakeholders is for us to begin to prioritize safety on our marine, spaces, such that we don't only have fisher folks going online. Offshore. Sorry, we onshore. We also have a lot of investment in the oil and gas space. And those installations need some form of protection. So if we are already losing, the fight here, how would we be able to protect those, expensive investments that we've done? So a major issue is the investment. We should look at it as a country and probably find the right, budget line to support our Navy to be responsive, and restore some security in our water bodies.
Ibrahim.
Well, see, when I saw the story yesterday in the morning, the way and manner the story was depicted, very alarming, legitimately so. So we had been attacked by pirates, right? On the high seas. And over 50 of our fishermen had been captured.
Yeah.
So we're all waiting for the ransom calls, right? And then we see how we could rescue them. And then later in the evening, I got much more alarmed with a statement from the Ghana Armed Forces that they had been searching for them since dawn.
Yeah.
And they had not been located. I'm sure even me, that did not have a direct family member impacted in that regard, I was alarmed. How much more the people in the central region whose fathers and brothers, as you mentioned, because whenever these fisher folks are going on their expedition, they go with the kids. We've tried. It doesn't look like they will stop going fishing with the kids. So like you mentioned, they are all not men. Some young kids were in there as well. And then before I went to bed, there was that good news from, once again, the Ghana Armed Forces that they have been rescued. Yeah. And we told that what happened was, so they were attacked, their outboard motors were stolen, phones stolen, whatever that could be stolen, and they were abandoned at sea. So they could not even trace their way back to shore. So they were just left to their fate. And the current would then be pushing them to wherever that it felt like pushing them to. And that's why what made the search much more difficult. But once again, like he said, kudos to the Ghana Armed Forces. Eventually, what had the potential of becoming a very terrible news became good news to many families who were reunited with their loved ones. Again, the next step is let's find the identity of the attackers. Is this homegrown or external? It's very important. Because if these are just some hoodlums in the area who have found a very soft target, an easy target of fisher folks who are at sea, let's just go and attack them. Because when they are going fishing, the things they go with, some of them, they spend days on the sea. They cook there. So they more or less like move with their kitchen and everything. So somebody knows that these are the easy targets relative to these fisher folk. And if they are indeed pirates, stealing outboard motors and mobile phones.
Because usually pirates will steal treasures.
That's the point. So this is the lowest level of piracy that I have ever heard. So I don't rule out the fact that this could be one of their own who have they decided that let's just go across them and hit them and then take whatever we can from them. But if it's external, then that's much more alarming. It means we need to do more. So the patrol vessels and what have you. And I agree with Asid when he mentions that these are fisher folks. Fortunately for us, for the oil installations, before we were done, we had procured the needed patrol vessels. You remember the late President Mills outdrawing some of them. So for that, constantly, the Navy is stationed there. But we just cannot be protecting the oil installation and then think that all is well. If now our fisher folks are being attacked at sea, we need to then up our game. But like I said, it was going to be difficult for them to defend themselves. These fishermen, how were they going to defend themselves? And they had been immobilized. So movement became a challenge. Thank God there was no bad news. But I agree with him. I agree with Asid when he mentions that let's invest much more in providing security, not just on land, but also at sea.
Right. Audu.
Yeah. Well, it is good news that our young ones have been rescued. I actually heard this from the minister, the MP for Ewutu Senya West. Yeah. And when she said they were waiting for hours to hear, to know the whereabouts of the people, I was also alarmed. But she gave assurance that the people will be found and brought to their families. And thankfully, the military was able to do that, together with NADMO I hear marine police.
Yeah.
Is that those who pass out under?
Yes, okay.
Under
So they're
Minister for Lands.
okay.
Or is it different
for the Galamsey?
For the Galamsey, is it the same people?
The water guard?
The water guards.
Oh, this is marine police. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
this
This
is not
marine
the water
police.
guards.
Water
Yeah,
guards.
it's a department in the Navy.
I would have said something because those are foot soldiers. Those are foot soldiers who don't really have anything to. So it's good news that our young ones have been saved. And I totally agree with GHOne, so that we need to invest more in how to protect our sea. And now we had a bad incident in Burkina Faso, where our women were shot, killed, about 8 of them. And it means that we have some few challenges with the security. And that is where people are looking at that, look, we should take the security of this country very seriously. We are surrounded by countries that are battling jihadists and terrorists. And therefore, we should be very careful what we do. We should be very careful with our security, invest more in security. And that is why we are now praising the military for a good job done. But military as we have now, the Ghana forces, do not have a leader who will give them direction. We all know that we lost the Minister for Defense some 7 months ago, who everybody so loved. A man with some level of integrity. He sadly passed on. And for 7 months now, we don't have a Minister for Defense to give direction to. You know, military, armed forces, they defend the territorial integrity of this country. And they must have a leader who will give them policy direction. I don't see, there's no any serious country in this world who will not have a defense minister for 7 months. There's no any serious country. You say that the United States of America, Trump, will not have a defense secretary for 7 months. And we are here. We say that it is no problem. Defense ministry, if you look at United States, if you take out their cabinet ranking, the number one is Secretary of State. Secretary of State is very important, like Minister for Foreign Affairs. That is why in serious countries, they take foreign ministers who have credibility, who have integrity, not what we have in Ghana. Oh. Then you have, well, you want me to speak more on that? I'll come to that. I'll come to that. I'm very serious about this.
I don't know how you got to that.
No, yes, because I'm talking of ranking. Serious countries, what serious countries do with their diplomacy, their, how do you call it, the security and everything. What serious countries do. If you take United States, for instance, they have the Secretary of State who is up there. Then you have the Treasury Secretary, like our Defense Minister here, Finance Minister here. Then we have this one Secretary for Defense. Then you have Attorney General. That is a thing. Now we are in Ghana here, and as I said, you see United States without a Defense Secretary for 7 months. Which country does that? Or you have Minister of State for Defense in UK. UK will not have Minister of State for Defense for 7 months. Or Russia will not have Defense Secretary for 7 months. That is unheard of. That's not what serious countries do with their security. I hear people say that, oh, the Defense Minister is there, everything is moving on. Why, if everything is moving on, then we should collapse the Ministry of Defense. Why do we have Deputy Minister for Finance? Defense, who cannot take any policy decision, who cannot do anything. That's why we are bringing in Minister for Finance to be caretaker minister. Yeah. When we heard this, what happens in Burkina Faso, was he able to visit there? Was he able to issue any statement? Why? Because the man is saddled with how to pay cocoa farmers. He is saddled with issues of payment of teachers. Pay salaries. He is saddled with so many issues, so his concentration is there. Do you blame him for not doing things at the defense ministry? Why is it that as a country we are taking our security like somebody's household business, where a man decides that how much I give to my wife, or my chop money I give to my wife or my kids. Security of the state should not be taken that lightly. A defense minister is very necessary for the protection and security of this country, because we are talking of territorial integrity of this country, and they must have direction, somebody to lead them. The armed forces, somebody must lead them. So we cannot, for 7 months, some defense minister sadly passes away, and we cannot even appoint a defense minister as a country, and nobody's talking, we are all sitting there. People are talking, and the appointer is not listening to anybody. We are sitting there, nobody's, and I hear this flimsy excuse that, people are talking because President Mahama is operating with fewer ministers. That's why they are envious. They think that he should add more ministers so that it will equate to. How low can we be with this kind of thinking? That you have an important portfolio like Defense Ministry that has this vacuum for all these months and it's not being filled. Yeah. And we are comfortable with it. We are doing politics as usual with it. We don't look at the security of the state. Is it that the president doesn't have... I know late Omanibu Ama was its trusted person and all that. Everybody agreed that this was somebody with high level of integrity and trust. People and Ghanaians trusted him. He's passed on. Somebody must be brought in. Is it that the president doesn't have anybody he trusts to fill that position? He told us that he will appoint the defense minister in 2026. When February is ending. No show. How long are we going to? Is it part of indecision? We cannot live like this as a country. Serious countries, as I said, there's no any serious country in this world that will live without a defense minister for 7 months. And I think we should encourage our president to appoint a defense minister as soon as possible, because the security of this state, of this country, is at risk. Forget about those who say that the things are going on without a minister. Yeah. I insist, if you think that things will go on without the minister, then collapse the defense ministry. If you can. Collapse the ministry. Right. And remove the deputy minister for defense, who has been given now, this thing is on radio, defending all manner of things. The man has no powers. If he has powers, would he not enter?
It's quite interesting because the former defense minister makes the same arguments that we cannot have a ministry without the minister for the past 7 months. Stephen, you agree?
Of course, I do. And I align with what my brother has said regarding the fact that as a country, we need to be serious for once, that you do not, play with your security.
Okay.
And security at the level of defense is so important because today you have women who were sadly killed in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes.
You need a lot of high-level engagement between our country and our neighboring countries to chart a path of mutual collaboration towards border security.
Exactly.
So if you don't have a substantive minister who will lead some of these policy discussions, you're exposing the country.
Okay.
So I align with him strongly that the president should, in a very short time, maybe as early as next month, as we are going into our independence, appoint for us a minister of defense.
Okay.
Believing that once the minister comes in, all these set pieces that are currently not being attended to, he will quickly pick it up and run with it. And I'm sure maybe if you had a defense minister who was taking reports week on week from various arms of our security apparatus, I'm sure we would have picked intelligence on the things happening, on our water bodies. We may not have gotten to this point. So
even Burkina.
And even Burkina. So having a minister also provides a certain leadership, which currently we don't have at the ministry. And that leadership, what people underestimate is the importance of a head.
Yes.
If you don't have a head, at times decisions get stuck. And I was the former general manager for SIGA, State Interest and Governance Authority.
Okay.
And you realize that there are times you need your boss to go and get certain things approved, and that you will go and nobody will pay attention to you. But once you have your boss leading the discussion, he has he comes to the table with a certain authority that gives you what you want.
Yeah.
So for Ghana's collaboration with our neighbors, and of course, the larger international community on security, who is representing us? What are the policy decisions the person is putting out? What policy proposals are even being submitted, to Parliament? I haven't taken pains to look at the defense budget. What informed the defense budget? What was the contribution of a substantive defense minister? Since we didn't have one, unless we are saying that the Minister of Finance, who is saddled by all these issues of non-payments of cocoa arrears, teacher, and nurses allowances not paid, all the many issues that he's dealing with. Is he the same person who had time to now discuss defense policies for 2026? I think that we should take our country serious, especially when it comes to security.
I'll give the final word on this one.
Yes. So for national security, it's been given to the Interior Minister as his additional responsibility. So Mutaka is in charge of national security, aside being an Interior Minister. So that's the arrangement that President Mahama did, because there's no national security ministry. Now, and then the unfortunate thing happened, and the finance minister was given additional responsibility. The president spoke to this just before we went for the Christmas festivities, like I would related to, and mentioned that everybody should go home, celebrate the Christmas, the New Year, and they should cease fire because there were intense lobbyings, right? Names were being thrown about here and there, and what have you.
The president said that?
Yeah, the president said that. No, I'm saying that. I'm telling you that people were lobbying. Okay. Names were being thrown about, right? Okay. And at the point, stories were even done that a nomination had been made by the president. So in the president responding to that, he said, ceasefire.
Ceasefire.
All of you go and enjoy your Christmas. Go and enjoy your New Year. When we return, that's this year, I'll make such appointment. Mind you, it's not only defense. Environment doesn't have.
Well, why do you think people are not talking much about that?
Okay, people should, because we're talking about galamsey. Yeah, and environment is very important in that regard, right?
Even that one is also a security
exactly, threat. Exactly. So people should. It's not just defense. But I get the point that when there are security issues, we are quick to just jump on defense. Defense even has a deputy. Environment doesn't have a deputy. So Emmanuel Kofi Amabua, who is the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, is the one also with the additional responsibility of taking care of environment. So, yes, I expect the president to honor his words, I think in the coming days. I have a strong feeling that within days, we should expect...
So that would be like our independence gift?
Or post-Sona announcement, right? Okay. The president is delivering Sona today, so post-Sona announcement, right? Because I'm not sure the president has any reason not to fill these portfolios. Okay. Because he promised 60, right? It took a while for him to even get to the 60. And then the unfortunate thing happened, and it's down at least by 2.
It took a while for him to get to 60. Remember when he got to 58?
Yes.
It took him about
a
month for him to even fill the 2.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making. That.
And now the 2 are gone, unfortunately, and filling them has become another
problem. No, I'm not sure it's a problem. But here's the thing. Like I said, here's the thing.
It's a problem. Oh.
Okay, so here's the
7 months.
Here's the thing. Sometimes when you are making appointments, the considerations, and some of them are constitutional enjoyments, right? The regional balance, right? There are many, many nuances that you have to satisfy. I'm not saying that's why. No, listen to me. So, Omanibo Ama is from Eastern Region. No, I'm coming. Omanibo Ama is from Eastern Region, right? And his appointment meant that a slot had been filled in that regard, relative to regional balance, ethnic balance, even political party interest and what have you.
Okay.
You still have to work out a replacement that can also satisfy those permutations.
Right.
For 7 months,
same
you can work out.
Oh, you're not getting me.
I get you. All this is no.
I'm not saying that's why.
No. This permutation, appointments.
So your concern is that it's taking too long.
It's taking too long.
No problem.
How long do you take to figure out your appointees? You reshuffle.
I recognize your concerns. I recognize your concerns.
That's
why I'm saying that. You see, the president, if indeed he was not minded that he needed to fill these vacant portfolios. I'm sure for the past 1 week, how the conversations have gone, the president will be alive to the reality that he will have to fill those portfolios. But I'm also saying that there are many considerations that he will have to make. He should make those considerations and then make the announcement. Mind you, Parliament will have to vet them, depending on what nominations he makes. If it's just moving one minister, sector minister, to the other, which is more or less like a reshuffle, then because I also think that the president wants to undertake a reshuffle.
Yes,
and that will be added to these vacancies that will have to be filled, right? So it's not just a two-slot thing that you think that, okay, the president just go ahead of it. The president wants to undertake some shake-up as well.
Holistic shake-up, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what you are?
I think the president...
That's why he's giving 7 months to... He's waiting when it's time for reshuffle. Then
for instance, if there is reshuffle and it's under a year, what could be the excuse for reshuffling the appointment just after before a year even ends?
Oh, you see,
you get the point.
But you see, if existing minister, you want to move an existing minister to that portfolio, you don't wait for reshuffle all this long. You don't wait for it. Right. And this Burkina thing, who was the minister who went to do the negotiation?
Ablaka went there.
Foreign Affairs Minister. Are you sure people actually listened to him? Are you sure people did?
He signed about 7 agreements.
You think they would have listened to a defense minister better than a foreign affairs minister?
Okay. We'll have somebody with credibility, somebody with integrity to be able to do these things. Look, don't go. Something happened. I hear there is war. My friends have told me there is a WhatsApp, CEOs and ministers WhatsApp, which I hear has been suspended because of war on that platform. Because of what happened with this DVLA thing, with the minister for, DVLA boss, where they call his nickname is Logas, a vandal. He's a vandal. You people, vandalism.
But that's another vandal.
Yes, vandals. I was a farmer.
Yeah,
I was a farmer.
They were feeding us.
Yes, yes, I was a farmer. Sometimes we can be radical, not the way you people vandalize.
Yes, we need to go for a break. So make your point.
Yes, I am saying that it's a policy that they want to travel abroad and then renew licenses for Ghanaians abroad and all that. They mentioned a few countries, And they said they were going to take people there. It was going to be a pilot. Then the CEO goes to announce it, issues a statement that they will pilot it and all that. Then there's a backlash. The minister who agreed with him, the foreign affairs minister, who had a meeting with the CEO in his office for them to pilot the project. All of a sudden says, I don't know anything about it. That's dishonest. What's dishonesty? Look, you see what people are doing to the CEO.
We are told that there was no director, and usually he doesn't hold official meetings without the directors and PAs.
Who
so that meeting was not an official meeting. It was just a social
But the man who even announced it didn't say this. He said that very soon. It's a pilot. So if you agree that there was a meeting, discussion with the CEO didn't say that the day he was using, they were running direct to US or Canada to issue passport, licenses. He didn't say that. He said they were going to pilot. The fact that you met with the CEO and discussed it, that you were going to pilot it, you should at least agree that you did.
You had a meeting.
You had a meeting with him. You had a meeting with him, then he is conveying the message to Ghanaians. Because of backlash, all of a sudden you backtrack.
Actually denying
the meeting. Only for it to come out that you actually had a meeting with the CEO. How can such a person be our chief diplomat? Somebody who cannot be trusted. You remember he popped a appointments committee. He resigned from appointment committee when there was a rumor that the NDC youth were agitating, the foot soldiers were agitating that their members on the committee were approving Akufo-Addo's ministers, that they were taking money. This guy quickly resigned.
As a matter of principle.
That as a matter of principle. You mean those who were NDC guys who were on that committee do not have principle?
Your minority leader is not...
Your minority leader who was Haruna Idris, who was a ranking member on the committee, had no principles.
So the ministry did not say there was
hypocrisy.
He said there was no formal meeting. He didn't say there was no meeting at all. It wasn't just formal.
He denied it. He said there was no. What do you mean by formal meeting? You meet with your CEO.
On that
I think there was something wrong with the statement that came from
Why?
To put out a
wasn't fair to the CEO.
That denies that anybody at the ministry had ever heard of the idea.
How?
That was problematic. You could say say that there were some unofficial engagement in that regard. Nothing concrete has been agreed upon yet.
But even the announcement by the CEO, he didn't say that they were starting the thing that day. He said they were going to pilot it. And he was even encouraging people, the workers there, that, look, this is what you will experience. You'll be traveling. You will be futuristic. He didn't say he was implementing it. Right. And yet you come out to say, I want to be the fine boy. Do you expose your CEO like that? You think CEOs will be comfortable with such a person?
Right.
The agencies under him will be comfortable.
Our chief diplomats.
And such a person will be your chief diplomat. I have said that we are not serious as a country.
We are serious.
Look at all, from Rawlinson's time, look at the people who have been our chief diplomats. A position that somebody like Victor Gbeho occupied. Obeda Samoa, Papa Oswan, Akufo-Addo.
But you see, here's the thing. You see, two people cannot be cast in the same.
But they have some level of integrity.
Okay,
this guy brought Aura. This guy spearheaded Aura. Is it oral or oral?
Opposition work. What we expected him to
opposition.
Look, you see, he was a member of parliament in opposition. What
no.
At this point,
every material time,
gentlemen, we need to go for a break. We need to go for a break. So we'll take a breather, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversations here. So stick and stay with us. I really wish that sometimes the real conversations when we are off air really comes on air. But of course, it's getting heated here in the studio because indeed we're talking about matters of national importance, and so you would understand how persons or people get involved emotionally. People, because it's people's realities that we're talking about here. Stephen is here, Audu is here, Ibrahim Al-Hassan is also here, and let's move to another sad incident that happened. The loss of a 29-year-old man owing to the no-bed syndrome.
And engineer for that matter.
Sad.
And I was scandalized because I remember telling someone that this is a man who could afford to pay for his own health care. But unfortunately, because of the situation he found himself in, this challenge arose. Yesterday, I had someone talk about the Afadato MP and the fact that he collapsed, had to rush to the hospital. They told him there was no bed. Then his wife said, this is an MP, for crying out loud. They found a bed for him. So in a situation where people don't know you, it becomes challenging. And then yesterday I heard from the Health Service Workers Union. They say, let's stop, marginalizing health workers and blaming them. It's not an issue of the health workers. We are rather demoralizing them when we speak about these matters in the way and manner in which we speak about them. Let me start with GHOne on this one.
Look, it's a sad development. I listened to my MP. I have two constituencies. Ablekuma Central in Accra and Lambusie in Upper West. My MP, Professor Bayo, he spoke eloquently about this no-bed syndrome. That he gave scenarios where a place, hospital can be described as no bed, where you say there's no bed. To the extent that doctors and health workers do not want to accept the patient when they say they are about closing. That's where the challenge is, the problem is. When they are about closing and they see that the patient is in critical condition, they don't want to stay and be saddled with maybe the death of that patient or do extra work. But that's where his problem was. That as health workers, that's your main how do you call it, obligation is to save lives.
In fact, they take an oath.
An oath. So no matter the situation, you take that patient and do whatever you can. Even if the patient passes on, even the relatives will see that you have done a good job and they may even praise you. Even after the death of, you have done your best, even after the death of that patient. So that's one leg of the story. The other story is a physical lack of beds, the physical beds, lack of beds in our hospitals. Look, we have spoken about these things over the years. I do not understand why this situation keeps on carrying. Look, every hospital, I ask this question, how much does a bed cost? That as a country, we have Kolebu, we have 37, we have Greater Accra Regional Hospital, we have all these referral hospitals. Referral hospitals, mind you, are hospitals that we all know that will take critical patients. And therefore, any patient that is coming there is considered critical. That's where we should look at seriously in this no-bed syndrome. We've talked about it over the years, all these years, and yet these things keep on happening. Why? Why is it that, look, I have said that it doesn't matter the room, so even if you can get a bed on a corridor, outpatient, how do you call it? The reception, everywhere that you can get a bed and place a bed to receive an emergency case. I think that we should be able to do it. It doesn't matter whether the space in a hospital is big or small. Anywhere, even if size, and once you have the equipment to take the patient, we should be able to do that. Why? What are we actually investing in our health sector? Which areas are we investing? That best, we cannot get best. And he also said something, and that is about even the health workers. They say they should not be blamed. We should not put the situation the way we are doing it. He said that somebody went there, needed a bed, The person, he was told there was no bed. When he called that the person should be given a bed, they found a bed for the person. Why should that happen? That you have to, even getting a bed will have to be through protocol. Getting the bed to save your relative and all that, you have to know somebody before you save that life. You get a bed to save that life. I think we should be serious in this country that every life matters. That no matter, you don't need to call a big man for a critical patient to be treated in our referral hospitals. We should be serious about our health care. Already we are struggling with how to get our nurses employed in these hospitals. You go to many places, I am from the northern sector, doctors don't want to go there, you don't have enough nurses. We have nurses sitting at homes. We are struggling to recruit them. The few that we have, we don't also give them equipment to work with.
Don't even pay them.
We don't even pay them. So what are we doing as a country? What are we managing as a country? It's a sad episode. And we should be very serious about these matters. We should be very, 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 very serious. Right. Look, I have that experience. My old lady, I was not around. My younger brother had to move from one hospital to another, 3 hospitals, and there was no bed. Eventually, they had to take her back to Kolebu. And they found a bench. Right? And what she needed at that material moment was to take some antibiotics, because she was, if she did not take that, they did not give her that infusion, she would have died. So they had to put her on a bench to be able to give her, and within 30 minutes she was stable. That is why emergency issue, when even if it is a bench that you can get oxygen or anything to be able to keep the person alive, then later I think you can find a bed for that person. So we should take emergency cases serious. Right. In all our hospitals, referral hospitals in particular. Okay. Because you don't know, as he said, somebody, he has the opportunity, the person who has the opportunity to call for somebody to save may be the person on the sick bed. Yeah. So there will not be anybody to call if you are sick. If you are sick. Yeah. So health workers, they should do their part. We know they are facing a lot of challenges. We all know. And sometimes when you go to hospital, you see the dedicated ones, they work the way they do. I think that what we give them is not commensurate to the work they do. They sacrifice a lot. A lot of them sacrifice a lot. By a few bad nurses who are also misbehaving, who are also creating problems for the health sector. So we should look at the issues holistically, how to motivate our health workers, how to provide the equipment that they need to work in our hospitals to save lives, and all that. You should look at these things holistically to have a very good health sector that we all want to give good health care. Right. To our people.
Let me bring Ibrahim into the conversation, because you were in Parliament when all of this was happening as well, and quite unfortunate incident.
Yes, I covered the story of a 74-year-old man who was first taken to the La Paz Community Hospital, was turned away, went to Kolebu, was turned away, age 37. Eventually, he died. And in Parliament, the Health Committee was tasked with the responsibility of investigating this whole phenomenon of no bed syndrome. And I remember that would be 7th Parliament. The committee's work was done, copious recommendations, right? Booklet was like that. And and subsequently, this country. Policy declarations that they were going to link all the public facilities and the beds. What the system that will be operated by the Ghana Ambulance Service will have access to it, right? So once the ambulance picks a patient, it knows where beds are. It knows exactly where beds are, and then, so nobody will turn anybody away, right? So it was a beautiful idea, and it was not going to take that much for it to be implemented. It's just a system where, see, even hotels deploy a similar system.
Yes.
Because when you visit a hotel and you need a bed, they will have to check and see whether that's why they tell you that, oh, there's this executive suite here, it's available. There's this some class one is here, it's available, because they have the system.
Even with the ordinary ones can even check online before we get to the hotel.
Even when they are hotels are full, they have affiliates.
Exactly.
They will tell you that, oh,
there's a bed here.
There's a bed here.
So exactly. So that's how we ought to have done this. So for us, years down the line, to return to this, and this young man's story is much more heartbreaking because as we speak, we've still not found the one who knocked him with the vehicle.
Yeah.
Hit and run.
Hit and run. Hit and run.
So critical time had been lost at that time because his family members, colleagues in the office were looking for him.
Somebody volunteered.
And then somebody volunteered and took him, visited 3 separate facilities. Nobody had that modicum of human feeling to say that, you know what, let me just get a doctor to enter the ambulance or whichever car that brought him. Because eventually they got an ambulance, so he was in an ambulance. Let me just get a doctor, because we don't have bed here, but you, doctor, go in there and assist the paramedics. Because the paramedics, they are limited in many ways as to what they can do. Nobody did that. The point is that when you tell a patient in an emergency situation that there's no bed, you have just signed the person's death warrant. And I don't know why it should be difficult for health workers to understand this. That regardless of how congested your facility is, when a patient in need of emergency care comes to you and you tell the person that there's no space here for you, you are condemning the person to death. How difficult should this be? And that's how come you are even told that don't demand money from a patient in need of emergency care. You finish, save the life, then we can talk about payment. So yes, health workers, we agree. You are overwhelmed, we agree. You are frustrated, yes, we agree. But in this situation, we cannot have empathy with you. We can't. Because being empathetic towards your plight is to say that send people away to go and die. We can't do that.
Meanwhile, people come when they are at their lowest.
Exactly.
People don't come when they're because...
No, we can't do that.
They don't
At least, regardless of how frustrated you are standing on your feet. You are alive. You are not in need of emergency care. So yes, your salary has delayed. Yes, your salaries are inadequate. Yes, you need basic... we know. But the point we are making is that in that situation, we cannot empathize with you at the expense of the one who is at the verge of dying. That's the point.
Sad.
So, bench, whatever. People go and buy, women, when they go to deliver, and they have to wait. Sometimes they go and buy plastic chairs.
Yes.
Why don't they send them away that there are no beds? They buy plastic, they sit in the chairs, and they are giving treatment. People lie on benches, and they are giving treatment. Yeah. It's not the best. But in our situation, it's better than sending a person away to go and die.
In a matter of life and death.
That's it.
The way and manner in which that person was brought.
Yes. So, yes, indeed. I had our own friend, he's a friend to the show. And I'm talking about the Afajotu South MP, Frank Efri. Share a very sorry story of how, but for the wife shouting that, that man lying there, and I'm quoting him, is an MP. He will have been left lying there till he took his final breath.
Before they attended.
Yes! That man lying there is an MP.
That fine brain, that giant
you understand?
Would have gone like that.
Yes!
I personally told him that he's a fine brain. He's a good guy.
He was recently
and the guy would have gone like that.
Commended by Speaker.
Yes.
Look, look, we have been in this house for years. Parliament, I mean, and we know the good ones. And he's a new MP. He's one of them. And he would have gone like that.
Just like that.
But for the comment of the wife. This guy would have
gone. To wrap up on this, I think collectively we cannot do better. The state must ensure that those systems that were to be deployed. Because I spoke to Dr. Ahi, the Mfanseman MP now. He was also in Kolebu as an administrator. He said they had implemented that. So what has happened to that? In fact, Atos Beyo spoke the way he spoke because he's a board chair for Kolebu. So he's aware what exists there. Let's go ahead and link facilities. 37, Greater Accra Regional Hospital, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, UGMC, the Bank Hospital. Let's link them. So then, indeed, we will be rest assured that when an ambulance takes off, it knows exactly where it is headed. My junior sister was a victim. She lost a baby as a result of that. And guess what? She lost a baby in her. They had to open her up to take out a dead fetus. So, she did not have the baby. She's been cut. And it could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. She went all the way from a private hospital to Kolebu, to even at Ridge. When they were taking her off the stretcher, she fell. It could have been worse. So when we talk about these things, yes, today we are alive and we have our tongue within our mouth, so we are speaking.
Yeah.
What happened to this gentleman?
If you have faced this
Could happen
challenge,
to anybody, no matter how big you are. And at that particular point in time, like you mentioned, your status cannot save you.
Yeah.
The MP status could not have saved him, but what the wife said.
Yeah.
So imagine that the wife was not around.
And it's sad. And yesterday, honestly, when I watched that press conference by the Health Service Workers Union, I got angry rather. Yeah. Because, you know, Titus Bay used to work at Kolebu.
Oh, yes.
His wife used to work there.
Yeah.
And he sat in the studio and told me, listen, when we were working there, when my wife was giving birth, I had to cough up money before she was taken care of. Even though we were both working in Kolebu.
Titus said that.
Yes! They both had to look for money to pay for his wife. Both him and his wife were working there, yet they had to look for money to pay.
But that's also a policy failure.
Yes, it is.
So
It's also a policy
it's on
failure.
different fronts.
It's also it's a different category. It's also a policy failure.
Steven,
No, but it's a policy that exists. I did a
Yes,
story.
but I know,
COVID. There was
I know.
a nurse in
But it's a
Kolebu who
policy
had
failure.
COVID, was using public transport to go to Kolebu.
That's a policy failure. That somebody works with a wife at the same hospital,
Yes.
and the wife cannot, the state cannot take care of
You
them.
don't treat them for free, especially Kolebu.
Nurses don't access
Yeah,
healthcare
for free. No, they don't.
It is terrible.
Yeah.
That's what. Look, if they were assessing that one alone then their complaints will reduce. I think we should look at that.
Absolutely.
My brother,
Steven.
yes. I think I have been thinking around this issue, not just today, but over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Looking at our healthcare system, comparing with other countries, and I always fear for my life and my family members in this country, because I ask myself, if for any reason you find yourself in a helpless situation and you are rushed to the hospital, you know you cannot talk, you are immobile, you are probably unconscious.
Yes.
And you don't have any means of getting money. There's no way you can fund, would the facility take care of you? Do we have a system like that? If we have not been able to afford that for our citizens as a country, 69 years of independence, then we have failed ourselves as a country.
6 March will be 69.
We have failed ourselves as a country, because for everything we are doing, all the big policies, the big initiatives, if you are not alive to live and experience them, then it is useless.
Very, very useless.
So in the scale of importance for every country, healthcare comes on top, because you need to ensure the well-being of your citizens before anything else. So if as a country, successive governments, have not been able to put in place such an infrastructure, a necessary infrastructure, then I think that the Kwame Nkrumah Ghana, we should all bow down our head in shame, because we have failed our own selves. And it's even more troubling because we are failing the future generation.
Yeah.
Because I still struggle to accept the fact that we tout ourselves as being the gateway to Africa, to be,
today, what did you say?
all these.
We are the biggest economy.
The biggest economy,
The second
biggest economy in West Africa,
now.
all those accolades.
What is the use?
Yet we cannot guarantee, health care for our citizens. And you made a very important point, Ibi, that you are a minister, you are a former minister, and all these ministers and government appointees become former sometime, and you may require an emergency care. How would you be treated? Because at that time, it's not about your money.
No.
It's about the system you put in place. Whether the system is, lubricated such that it can give you life. That is something that every minister today, every MP today, the president, every appointee of government today should be, pondering over. That tomorrow, if I'm not in this position of influence, where I can make a call, I have a doctor friend at Kolebu, just a call, and my wife will be taken care of, my girlfriend will be taken care of, my side chick will be taken care of. When you don't have that, influence, tomorrow, would you still be able to rely on the system to take care of you the way you would want it? If you can't answer that question in affirmative, then we should all come back to the table and begin to do the important things. First and foremost, we shouldn't have a system where any citizen, no matter your class, your status, should be denied healthcare because he doesn't have money, there's no bed, or we don't have enough hospital facilities. That, for me, is unacceptable. And anybody who presides over such a regime doesn't think of the people, regardless of all the good policies you can put in place. So I heard you talk about, Ibi, you talked about the fact that there's a whole system, an IT infrastructure that is supposed to provide, information on where there's availability of bed and all that. The first question I want to ask is that, who audits this system? How foolproof is that system? Because
the reliability
of the system. Because you see, in the world of IT, is input and output. Sure. So how are these beds that become available entered onto the platform? Because there's a patient today, the next 5 minutes the patient is off the bed. Does that send a signal to the center that this bed has become available? Yeah. How efficient is that system?
Even with the hoarding of the bed.
You understand? To the point that the other question is that at our hospitals, especially the major hospitals, the referral hospitals, there are times some patients have been taken care of, they are fine. They could be relocated to another ward. Yeah. But because that patient has money, and the hospital workers go there, there are some tips here and there, they keep the person there instead of transporting them. I mean, that's one of the reports that we found.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Some patients are kept at emergency care spaces for a long time, when indeed we could free that bed for other people to also access it. I just read something online that in 2024, in somewhere in the central region, one lady had her leg, it was a hit and run, she had her leg, broken, so an ambulance had to pick her up. They couldn't find bed. You know what the ambulance people did? Eventually, they dumped the lady in some bush and then left.
Oh, that story.
Why would we be this wicked unto our own selves? Yeah. Why? So aside the fact that government itself needs to be serious with healthcare, and look at the entire service healthcare delivery channels, right from the polyclinics. What cases are referable? Because if we even capacitate our polyclinics to handle some of the referral cases, then you minimize the pressure on the main hospitals. Yes. So, for me, I'm charging the Minister of Health and the entire Health Directorate to look at how we can remedy the situation by at least upgrading the polyclinics to have capacity to deal with some of these emergency cases, so that we reduce the pressure on the referral hospitals. And maybe we begin to talk about expanding emergency care services at these referral hospitals. So these are just a few points I want to
and it's quite interesting because I remember Prof also talked about the fact that even with the paramedics who run the ambulances, some cannot as little as even IV infusions, they cannot set it up. Yes, he said
that's another challenge.
They can't even set it up. So the ambulance is just transporting you. There's nothing that can be done to ensure that you are alive and stable.
Okay.
Because IVs, some of them cannot even.
So that another challenge is when they take you to a hospital and they say there's no bed. The reasonable thing to do is that at least somebody, a health worker, will join the ambulance and see what he or she can do to save the patient while the ambulance is moving. Sometimes when they say there's no bed, the same people nobody joins, no health worker joins the ambulance.
And that's what I said. It's like you've been condemned to
recently, one of my workers is one of my high-performing staff. He calls me and said, "Boss, the wife had just delivered and had post-delivery complications. So it was being managed. So 3 months on, he calls me and said, the situation has degenerated and that they are currently looking for a bed. They've been to Kolebu.
No bed.
There's no bed. So I had to call a few friends of mine, and they said, oh, Kolebu, there's no bed. So my brother, this one, I can't help. So I said, okay. I had a friend at Ridge. I called my friend at Ridge. He said, oh, I'm going to check. When they came back and said, my brother, there's no help. And I said, okay, you, in your expert opinion, what do you think I should do? Because that stuff is important to me. And I need him to even go on an assignment. So if the wife is not well,
he cannot go.
He cannot. Then he said, oh, his advice to me is that I should let them go to UGMC. But they should go with money. Once they have about 3,000, when you go, you'll be asked to make a deposit. You know, I don't know how true that is, but of course,
I think a lot of UGMs, I think they have.
You make a deposit. Once you pay the money, they will admit the patient. So I asked myself, how is this worker of mine going to cough up 3,000 on the spur of the moment? But because I didn't want him to go through the ordeal of losing a wife, I called my accountant and I said, you know what, give him a small loan of 3,000. Let him be able to pay and then get the wife admitted. So I'm asking that, how many people have been in this situation that have gone unreported? You know, there are several of it.
Well,
you know,
it's a very unfortunate incident, and then we hope that we don't have to sit here and talk about this thing again. At least maybe this. That's why I said we hope.
Don't hope that.
We can just hope. We can just hope.
Your hope will be hopeless.
You remember the flooding situation?
Exactly.
I'm saying that your hope will be hopeless.
I don't want my hope to be hopeless. So let's bring you some visuals from Parliament, because today we are setting the tone for the State of the Nation address. Ibrahim raised concerns yesterday. He says, hey, but why Friday? So what you can see, they're live visuals from Parliament. The dignitaries are arriving in anticipation of the State of the Nation address. So this is the prison service. Of course, I've seen PS. So clearly, that should be the prison service. Diplomatic Corps, I want to believe. Members also arriving in Parliament. The advertised time is 10 a.m., but if the experienced guys are here. They have been in Parliament for years, and they know one thing for sure: it will never start at 10. So those are visuals from Parliament, and a beautiful display of Kente as well. And you can see the days is set. So when the president arrives, that's where he would stand
and take his salute.
And take his salute. Obejini too.
I don't say Obejini one.
No, it's a two.
Why not one?
No one. They say a quite. But two days twice. Right. So this morning in fact, since yesterday, we've been gauging the mood of people, finding out what the expectations of the State of the Nation address are. And today it was as though all my callers received a call from one person to tell them, Mofra, and tell them that unless we see prosecutions, we, the base, are not happy with the president.
Okay. Which base?
Is the NDC base.
Okay.
I was really surprised. My callers from
there's another base.
Oh my goodness.
So just say if you say NDC food soldiers,
but not the other base. Interesting. And my callers from Takoradi, from the northern part of the country, from Accra, were all on the same tangent, that we were promised that they were going to prosecute the MPP guys who had looted the state. Oral, we are not seeing anything. So tell the president, we are not happy. If he doesn't do that, we, the NDC guys, we would now have to show our displeasure, register our displeasure.
You don't go to court.
Those are the expectations of the State of the Nation address.
Based on conjecture and gossip. So
based on conspiracy.
The oral report.
Yes.
I looked at it.
90% yes.
Oh, then you are even worse than me. I was going to say about 80%. Look, about that report, conjecture, gossips, and then gossips, and all that. That is why I was happy with former Auditor General Domelevo. He was part of the oral committee.
Yes.
He said it frankly, that a lot of the things on the listing were allegations that needed to be proven. Because he doesn't want to say that he has put up a concrete report that tomorrow somebody cannot use that report to prosecute, and so people will be calling for his head. So he actually did. And just recently, my senior brother, Attorney General, was also said that, look, there needs to be a lot of work needs to be done on that oral report for prosecution to be done. So all the foot soldiers who are talking of prosecution, a lot of gossips have been thrown out there, and you don't take gossips to court. you take evidence to court,
Right.
not gossips. So they should take time and let the Attorney General do the cleaning up exercise within the report. If he cleans up the report and there are reasonable issues there for him to, prosecutorial issues there for him to take to court with concrete evidence, he will be able to do it. But that report, that oral report, a lot of it is chaff.
Thank you.
A lot of it is chaff. And therefore, they should not put pressure on the Attorney General
Right.
to do prosecution based on oral. If there are other matters, they should double about it. As for that oral
They should forget
document,
about it.
a lot
Well,
of it is
that's
chaff.
the expectation from the president. But what are your expectations?
Because you know, let me just briefly about the oralities. You know, we had this when we were not privatized, ECJ thing.
Yeah. With the privatization.
The
of
privatization. It was a privatization. PDS.
The PDS.
Yes.
PDS.
Private
thing.
sector participation.
You
yes.
know, United States government was going to give us some amount
Yes.
of
Yes, yes,
$190 million. And PDS, when President Akufo-Addo looked at it, all the issues, he said he was cancelling it. United States said, no, it should not be cancelled because they were okay with it. Akufo-Addo went and said it was not in the interest of this country to continue with that arrangement. He cancelled it. It was a grant too. US didn't give us that amount. We held it. They didn't give us. Do you know that it is the oral report that it is a loss to this state? That we have to. Are you going to? Somebody who is giving you a grant, free money. He said, "I won't give you." So are they going to recover it from United States government? There was another one that it was quantified. Akufo-Addo's daughters rented a private property. Now near Bank's hospital. Bank Hospital. A private project. A private, building that they rented to do their business. Do you know that has been captured? That it was sold to the daughters of President Akufo-Addo then at some cost that is sickening. If you look, he likes using those words. Only for it to turn out that that property did not belong to the state. It was rented by private citizens from a private person, and yet it found itself in the oral report for prosecution. How are you going to prosecute that? So there are thousands, there are lots of those in that report.
Right.
So I beg the FDC foot soldiers, if they have any concrete evidence for any previous government official to be prosecuted, I think they should be coming forward with those evidence.
Okay.
They should not depend on the oral report to harass the Attorney General because X will be thrown in his face if he goes with what is there. That's why cleverly he said that a lot of work needs to be done on that report before.
But what are your expectations of the Sona?
Okay, Sona. You know, today I think that I've spoken a lot about the oral man.
Yes.
So let me come to my senior brother, the president. He's going to present the state of the nation. The state of the nation is the current state, how it is. He himself once told President Akufo-Addo that in looking at the state of the nation, you look at what is currently, what it looks like in future, and what you need to do in future, and how you are going to do it.
Right.
So the same way, Ghanaians will be wanting to hear what our situation is today, how future looks like for this country, how he is going to make future better for this country.
Right.
So in brief, that's what Ghanaians will be looking at. And the current situation, what is the current situation as we find ourselves? We'll be looking at, first of all, people are demonstrating, cocoa farmers. The challenges in the cocoa sector, how he is going to assuage the feelings of cocoa farmers. What policies are in place to assuage their suffering, their feelings. He will be telling Ghanaians. I hope he will be telling Ghanaians. And I would have loved it as my good brother Opon Krumah said. I think that if he had brought for evidence-based delivery, some cocoa farmers will be brought to the public gallery for them to bear testimony that, look, even though you cut our prices, we are still happy.
The 56%.
56%. Right. At least you bring a few of them to bear testimony that they are happy with the cut.
Okay.
Then we'll look at all the issues that are teachers who have worked for 14 months without pay. That is their economy. So he will be looking at how to address those issues.
Okay.
He will be looking at all the nurses who have completed their home, the teachers and all that. All these are issues that Ghanaians will be looking at.
Okay.
I know the macro economy, the fundamentals, the inflation, how
exchange
good
rates.
the exchange rate, all those he will speak about them. Those will be trumpeted because of course they are down. So he will trumpet them. He will trumpet those things. But we'll be looking at, apart from this, what has been the impact of the ordinary Ghanaian.
Okay.
Look, as I see today, we all use cars, at least 4 of us, right? If you go to the pumps, at least there's some reduction in fuel prices. Yes. But what has that translated to the ordinary Ghanaian? Because the fares have not reduced. Either they are increased or they are maintained. So there's no impact. Even though fuel prices are down, no impact on ordinary Ghanaian. No impact on lorry fares. No impact on those who transport their foodstuff.
Right.
So that is something we'll be looking at.
Okay.
Now, we're talking about these ministers and all that. As we speak today, do you know, for some few weeks now, I actually thought it was only Sablugu. I didn't know because the MP disputed water. Apparently, I have not been in this country. I've been living in that country in darkness. The whole of northern region is serious crisis, water crisis. People actually drink water with animals. Yesterday, somebody confirmed to me that they go to the streams to fetch water where cattle drink. You see students of Tamale Secondary, Ghana, and they go carry buckets to go and fetch water in the streams to bath. And the person actually told me that evening, he told me yesterday night, that he was waiting for Boboya, somebody to bring water for him to buy. If the person didn't bring water that night, his children were not going to go to school this morning.
Wow.
That's how bad the situation is. So we'll be looking at all these challenges facing the ordinary Ghanaians, how the government will be able to solve them. Look, in the same northern region, Tamale, our minister, communications minister here, fighting, how do you call them? DSTV. Do you know there's no tele network that is functioning properly in Tamale now, today? They all have challenges.
You mean television network?
Internet.
No, phone networks.
Phone networks. Telecel, MTN, and how do you call it? AT. They're all having challenges. Reception, call dropping, and all that.
So you expect the president to touch on all of these?
No. I am saying that he cannot touch on everything. And these are ordinary things, that the economy, the reality of the ordinary Ghanaian. So government will be looking at, I'll talk of how they will fix the challenges. I'm not saying he should touch on all these because he will not be able to touch on every problem in this country. But you see, how are you going to solve these problems? These are numerous challenges facing the ordinary Ghanaian.
Right.
And so people will be looking at all these challenges.
Absolutely.
And that is why people will be interested in how the problems will be solved.
Okay.
That is all Ghanaians will be looking
Ibrahim.
Well, so this will be the State of the Nation address that the president can take ownership of, because he's been in power for more than a year.
Yes.
So his rural policies has put people in positions of power to deliver goods for Ghanaians.
Right.
So he has a very interesting reporting card that he can hit his chest and say that these marks were because of policy A, B, C, and D. So I will touch on some of them. See, when you look at the micro and the macroeconomic indicators, it's beautiful. Inflation down to a little over 3%.
Macro beauty, not the micro.
Okay, so we talk about even reserves. You see, that's the point. I'm talking about both micro and macro.
No.
Okay, so which of the indicators are pointing to the negatives?
The micro.
Okay,
the micro is the ordinary, the feeling of the ordinary, right?
You see, inflation.
No.
No, I'm coming. The point I'm making is that.
Oh, I don't understand
the macro
Yes,
is
yeah.
No, I don't understand because
Yes.
the macro is the figures.
No,
the inflation, or is it the micro rather?
Yeah.
No, that's
Which
the
one?
macro.
The
The
macro,
macro,
are the bigger picture.
bigger picture.
The micro is what you talk
Internal.
about, the impact on the individual.
Exactly.
lives.
That's
No,
what
I
I'm
get
saying.
you.
That's the micro level.
No, I'm
the
coming.
macro is the indicator, the
I'm
inflation,
The exchange rates,
Yes.
the huge ones.
That's the macro. But the micro is the feeling of the ordinary guy.
Inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is the rate at which prices increase, averagely, right? So if you are told
That's
that
macro.
in a month, I'm coming. Okay. You are talking about impact on the ordinary Ghanaian.
That's right.
And I'm relating to how macro can impact on the micro.
Okay.
You see, they are not mutually exclusive.
No, one
They are
will have to
never-
impact on the other.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Especially macro will have to impact on the micro.
that's the point I'm making, right?
Yes.
So when you look at those indicators on paper, how do they look? The president will speak to them, right? What has been the impact? The president will speak to them. I expect the president to speak to, for instance, the reason why cocoa prices had to be cut. I told you yesterday that if there is any Sona that I didn't expect the president to go back and blame the previous administration, it will be this one.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the cocoa sector, I'm not sure the president can help it. Because there's another age in a can. Say, Upoli, now here. I'm sorry, I mean, he will be out here, you know. He will be out poli, you know, to wait. When you stumble and fall, go back to where you stumbled, not where you landed.
Okay.
Right. And the politicians, they do that all the time. See, until Akufo-Addo left power, his very final Sona, he was referring to 2016 figures. The politicians, they always do that.
Yes, that's true.
Asking where we came from
Yes.
and where we are today. So yes, he will talk about where we are today. He will talk about where he expects us to be tomorrow, or where he's leading us tomorrow. But he will obviously
and how he will
do that. But obviously, he will take you back to where we came from. They all do that.
Yes.
That's not the state of the nation, because that would have been the state of the nation then.
Yes.
But the politicians will tell you that if I don't tell you where we came from, how will you appreciate where we are today? So we expect that to play out.
Okay.
Again, like I said, this will be an address that the president can take ownership of. If you ask me as to whether the president will have a headache this morning, no. In a year, obviously, there is so much to celebrate, because even change of government is enough for things to realign.
Hey.
And no, in this country, yes. That's how come the economy responds whenever they change in government. With the new government, haven't done nothing.
There's so much to celebrate.
No, you're not getting me. I'm saying that it is after 2 years. See, they tell you about gestation period of a policy.
There's a lot to cry about.
He's a businessman. He will tell you about gestation period. Of course, there's something to cry about. There's something to cry
There's
about.
more to cry about than to celebrate.
Really? That's subjective, though.
I am very
That's
serious
subjective,
about
because if they tell you that the cedi has appreciated against the dollar, if they tell you that inflation is down to a little over 3%, right? If they tell you about the import, if they tell you about fuel, you talk about impact. You say we all drive, right?
Yes.
So it means that at least at the pump, no, the sample size is 4 of us.
Yes.
Here, that's the sample size.
But it's not representative.
But then I also believe that
sample size must be representative.
I also believe that there's something called a personalized Sona, and it's a personal economy. See, all of us here, yes, we all might be driving, but our personalized economies will not be the same.
Absolutely.
Right? So if you give Audu opportunity, he will tell you how things have realigned naturally in a way to the negative. That's him. I still will tell you that business-wise, these other factors have realigned either negatively or positively. I will tell you that, okay, in my family, I think I have my peace of mind, right? The demands are not that much. That's also a realignment. You have your own testimonies.
I'll be consulting you.
No. I'm not saying that's my reality.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not saying that's my reality. Disclaimer. I'm not saying that's my reality. I'm just saying that. Yes. I'm just saying that.
We like
people have personalized economies, right?
Okay.
And you can't take that away from them.
Yes.
You can also not take away the fact that there are people whose means of survival by the dint of the fact that one party lost power, that survival has been taken away from them.
Absolutely.
They will have to rework and re-engineer things, right? But like I said, more importantly, a policy gestation period is there. They will tell you that when you implement a policy, at least give it 2 years to mature. So, yes, the president, I think today will have a field day. The years will be much more than the no, not just because of a numerical advantage in the chamber, right? But because if the president just decides to even speak about the indicators are pointed to the positive.
Okay.
But more importantly, the impact on the lives of the ordinary Ghanaians. Yeah. Policies tailor-made to bring more people out of poverty. And even if that is what he wants to talk about, he has figures from the Ghana Statistical Service to back him. Recently, it was released that many more people have been moved
from the poverty zone.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
I agree.
950,000.
I agree. Joshua.
I would do.
Look, the major policy of this government was 24-hour economy.
We expect him to talk about it.
24-hour economy.
He will give a verdict on that.
The only thing that has been done in 1 year is to pass a 24-hour economy authority bill. That is an act now. He has assented to it. Have you seen that document? What is in there? Does it give you hope? Does it give you hope to even NDC supporters who are locking NHS offices because of lack of jobs? Have you seen them? That document does it even give even food soldiers?
You're out of time. Let me get Stephen to have his bite on this.
Okay, I mean,
I think you like Mahama. Is the whole?
So I'm asking whether that 24-hour economy act, authority act, gives even NDC food soldiers hope.
1 year on, President Mahama will be accounting to the nation on his stewardship. From January 2025 on the 7th to today, whether indeed what he promised within 1 year he's been able to achieve them, or he's on the path to achieve them. What I expect to see or to hear in this Sona is for President Mahama to go back to the social contract that he signed with the people. When he went around the country, he made certain commitments and promises. One of them was to operationalize the 24-hour economy. That was going to give us 133 job opportunity. So the ministries, the watches seller, the Kayu seller, the Kayu and the Kelewili seller will be able to run.
So we could buy watch
a 24-hour.
If you go to Newtown,
you can even eat
that promise is something that promised to address the fundamental problem of the youth at the time, and even now, that there are no jobs. So if we have one job at the ministry, we are going to triple it. So we're going to have 2 other people. So we run 24 hours. The expectation then, when I heard the policy, was that, they will not have delays at the ministry anymore. We probably will have 3 ministers. We'll have 3 chief directors.
That will be too much.
We'll have, but that said and done, Ghanaians are expecting to hear from him.
But Passport Office says
where we are.
They've initiated that. Ghana publishing also.
No, I've heard a few agencies, even DVLA say they have. But when you go there, you don't see a 24-hour economy.
Oh, no, Medina.
I hear the Medina office.
But when you say the 24, they are operating 24-hour economy. He said they're operating.
Yes.
What is the level of employment in these institutions?
So we
numbers.
We would want to hear from him.
Exactly.
What are the statistics? Okay. How many new jobs have you added by operationalizing your campaign promise? It is very important for the people of Ghana, because every year a new group of graduates from our universities, our polytechnics and other tertiary institutions who have hopes of taking advantage of this 24-hour economy. So we want to hear from him where we are on that, because it was a flagship policy. Just like the NPP in 2016 promised free SHS. Within the very first months of the government, it was rolled out. So people could, attest to the fact that, yes, the policy has been operationalized. The 24-hour economy, what I hear, just to confirm what my brother said, the president has assented to the bill or the Authority Act, and looking into it, he only came to me as, a rehash of the One District, One Factory kind of, program, where we are looking at industrializing, creating more industries, but I didn't see clearly the elements of 133. Because you see, when you talk about industrialization, when you talk about enabling a 24-hour economy, you can use policy to an extent enable that, but to a larger extent, it must be market determined.
Demand and supply.
That's what I'm saying. It must be market determined. So if you and I wake up in the morning, or probably by 6 p.m., you get to your area and people are roaming around and having fun. It is 10 o'clock in the night, people are still around. It is 1 a.m., people are still around. Nobody will have to tell the cocoa seller or the wachi seller to sell wachi at night.
Yes.
You don't need a policy to do that. You would need an economic environment to engender that kind of, initiative.
Sure.
And let me give you a classical example. In India, the government decided to set up offices where they will be registering citizens. You can go and access government service. So, like we have district assembly offices, they had offices in every corner of the country, owned by government, paid by government, where you can go in and request for your passport, request for national ID, everything state service can be accessed there. Upon implementation, they realized that midway, they are having to pay so much salaries. There's also difficulty in, oversighting them, monitoring, and even exacting compliance and accountability. So they had to rethink their policy. And they said, okay, now government doesn't want to roll out this again. Government is giving an incentive. So private people could participate. As a private person, you find your place, employ your people, come to government to give you access to the platform. You deploy it at your space, you earn a commission for whatever service, and within minutes, the whole of India is taken over by private sector, providing the government services at those locations.
And they will give the jobs.
And that is what created jobs. This way, the government's budget is saved. It is now, for the private businessman to do the business case and see whether indeed he can make profit, and then he will deploy it. So policy is good, but it is not something that you can easily How many companies are into production? What are their installed capacity? Because I know companies in Tema, some of them have installed capacity of probably about 50,000, 80,000 metric tons of steel. But even money to import the raw materials is not there, so they are probably doing less than 15,000.
In fact, there is imported steel that is cheaper than what we produce.
You understand? So the issue is that, to what extent have we even enabled production in this country?
Is that not what the policy is supposed to do?
So you realize that even with this whole dollar argument, I have an opinion that, yes, it was good we brought dollar down. But the manner in which we did it, was a disincentive to the exporter.
Even to the private sector.
To the exporter, because an exporter makes FX revenue, converts to CD for its local operations. So even if government have it in mind to drop exchange rate, because what per the IMF, leeway, you had the room to now intervene after November. There was enough reserves, so you could intervene. I was expecting a staggered approach to reducing the exchange rate, so that you give the exporter room to plan. We didn't do that. We just rushed within a week or two. We dropped it,
but that's what we are now trumpeting.
So the side effect of that rush policy is the cocoa issue we are seeing now. And then our other exports, those minor exports that we used to do, are all suffering. Because if I used to export, shea butter, and I was getting $1, which when I come to Ghana, I was getting 15 cedis. Now I'm getting 10 cedis.
13 cedis.
I'm getting 10 cedis. So it means that I may have to increase my price on the world market, or to my buyer, to be able to still make up the 15. And that makes me expensive. That's what happened to our cocoa.
Yeah, but the flip side is that when you're also importing raw materials.
Yeah, but
for
what raw materials you need for shea butter?
No, I'm talking about the manufacturing sector.
Yes.
So, yes, the sector you mentioned, and I sat here last week and related to those same facts, that a sector suffer, the subsector will suffer. Yes. But then there are other sectors that will thrive as a result of this. That's the manufacturing sector, which imports raw materials at a lower cost as well.
Do I have 2 minutes?
That's what 2 minutes. You can't have.
How many minutes?
No, you can't have a minute.
Okay.
You can have a few seconds. Yes.
Look, Joshua, he mentioned this pumping in money to bring down, to strengthen our city, intervention. You know what he's doing to this economy? We gathered so much gold. We sold the gold to bring down. When U.S., that Trump, the president, the powerful man, U.S., he has devalued his currency, the dollar, to increase exports.
That's what you do.
We are here using the same dollars to bring down, to strengthen our city. You know what it has done? He mentioned cocoa. I will not mention it. Our manufacturing sector. The people who are producing, he's talking about raw materials being less and all that. But why? Are they going to use water to produce? They are using electricity. They are using water. They are using, all those things have gone up. And when they produce, because of they are not competitive, your imported goods are cheaper than your local produce. What you do is that whilst you are giving a boost to the foreign economies, your local economy is suffering because the production sector, the industries that will employ people to help you implement your 24-hour economy, you are killing them because they are not competitive with the way you are doing. For instance, we now go to this rice because of the inflation that has reduced, what do you call it, our currency that has been strengthened. You now have imported rice. That is, a bag is selling at probably 300 Ghana cedis. You have a similar quality local rice that is probably selling at 500, which is produced in Ghana. Which you think, at least, common sense?
I know. Hold on for me. Let's quickly cross over to Parliament now because my colleague Abdul Hanan is engaging Fifi Fiavi Kwete. Let's quickly pick that one and come back.
Fiavi Kwete in that address with me, and quite a number of other, dignitaries have appeared. I've seen the former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, that is GHOne, who is also here representing the New Patriotic Party. We know he also has some ambition. That's my camera over there. So you're live on GHOne television. Let me first of all find out from you, as the former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, now in opposition, what are your expectations ahead of the President's address this morning?
I think that the expectation is what is on the lips of cocoa farmers. The expectation is what's on the lips of cashew farmers. The expectation is also on the list of rice farmers, maize farmers. As a result of the strengthened CD, these category of people are going through a lot of challenges. Our prices are not competitive. Import substitutes have taken over and they are going through a lot of problems. We are also expecting that, as they promised, that electricity bills will be slashed, water bills should be slashed. I think it's been rather increased over the period. So we want to hear from government or the president, what measures is he putting in place in order to reduce this hardship that for the first time in the history of our cocoa industry, we've seen a reduction of cocoa prices in between the farming season.
In terms of the electricity, government or the Ministry of Energy has set up a committee to investigate that. You don't think that is enough?
No, that's not. We should not decide to use this one as an excuse. Prices have increased already. The one that we are talking about is about astronomical reading of the meter, which has nothing to do with the 28.9% increase of the general price prices of petroleum products. So this investigation has nothing to do with the increase. This one is abnormal. Yeah.
But generally, we are still in the first quarter of the year. The president has done 1 year already, and this will be his second year. What would you make of his first year, and what should you or are you expecting him to do in this second year?
That's what I said. If you take the economic indicators, many of it are pointing direction. But the consequences is also dire on other sectors of the economy, like those who produce for export. We are also not a year in our administration. All the noise about oral and the ability to get close to $21 billion, I don't think we've gotten even 100 Ghana. But they've used all the state machinery, arresting people, chasing people in their homes, searching people without warrants, unknown people, attacking people and all that. We've never seen anything yet. And I think that it's important that this mass deception of our people, that there's some $21 billion somewhere stolen by the previous administration, I think that we've been deceived in that direction. Yeah.
Thank you very much. He is the former General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. I have the legal representative or the lead counsel for the minority.
No, I'm not the lead counsel for the minority.
My camera is here.
Just a member of the minority.
Okay. He wants to identify himself as a member of the minority. Honorable, the president would arrive very shortly. Let's pick your expectation ahead of his address this morning.
Without a shred of doubt, the indicators are looking good. Inflation has come down. The exchange rate has become relatively stable. There is, however, discontent on the ground. People are complaining that it's not impacting them. I expect the president to acknowledge that, yes, it looks good on paper. However, there's that discontent.
Is it not going to take time?
So let's acknowledge it, because that is the state of the nation. Once it's the state of the nation, it is a worthy acknowledgement. Then give us a clear indication as to how he's going to make that transformation, to make it, to have it impact on the Ghanaian. I think that for me is very necessary. Today we have over 60% of Ghanaians being farmers. About 1 million of them are cocoa farmers. What is the state? The state is that the government has had to reduce the purchase price of cocoa. The president will have to tell us, right? Yes, that has indeed happened. I think that these are the basic things that needs to be acknowledged. And lastly, why some of the promises they made to Ghanaians, they are not able to fulfill them. Whilst acknowledging the good things that have happened, we need to explain to us why, for instance, the 24-hour economy, Ghanaians can't, it's not being implemented.
You just passed the authorities' bill.
The law, do you need a law to make it happen?
They need the legal framework to lay the foundation to be able to coordinate and facilitate.
The legal framework, one, is the national budget, and two, the organization's own laws and regulations. You don't need an overarching regulation. And you already have institutions that can give you that necessary backing. You don't need that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So he identifies himself as a member of the minority. And so, yes, quite a number of members of parliament also arriving. Let me engage the MP for Ketu North constituency, Edem Agbana, who has also arrived.
Okay, right. So visuals there from Parliament, and it's quite interesting. The minority MPs are in black. Maybe they're also mourning with Audu, mourning for the cocoa farmers. But Stephen, you were the one.
So I was talking about Ghanaians expecting to hear more on the 24-hour economy and how it has been implemented so far. The next thing Ghanaians will be looking to see is also the promise to fight and possibly eliminate galamsey. As a country, 1 year on,
right,
we want to hear from the president. What does he think, or what he thinks are his success rate in the fight against galamsey. Because we get reports from Buidam and a few other, places that because of the activities of galamsey, our water bodies have become so contaminated that it is affecting our turbines that are used to generate hydropower. So the question then is that, are we winning the war or we are losing? And is that going to cost the Ghanaian more? Because once Buidam shuts down, that's another doomsaw, in the offing. So we want to know from him where we are on that fight, whether indeed he thinks that 1 year on he's achieved,
Do you know the
success
answer?
rate or not.
Do you know the answer?
It's easy for him to, like you said, you come and praise, sing and all, but I'm sure Ghanaians will also be a better judge.
Exactly.
But what we want to know is that from his own personal assessment as the president of Ghana and for the entire government, where does he think he stands on the scorecard?
He's doing well.
That's very important
He's
for
doing well. That's what
Ghanaians. We would want to know. Again, in opposition, we promised a lot of jobs, especially the 1 million cadres and all that coders that we said. To what extent have we, actualized those promises? How many coders have been, employed? So that the youth can now begin to put some numbers to the promise and have hope that, if I have not gotten my job now, my will be coming maybe the next year. So Ghanaians would want to hear more of that. Again, on the issue of security. Today, Ghanaians are being killed in Burkina. We have fisher folks being attacked and robbed on high seas.
I hear last year there was Denu.
There's been Denu incidents from last year. So there's a gradual breakdown of security. Our expectation is that the president will touch on it and give us some assurances and some concrete steps being taken to
because
address.
as we speak, and you can see on your screens, the Speaker of the House, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, has arrived, and this is Fugu. Pro Max. Speaker.
If Zambians were to describe this would be like super blouse. It's an overall blouse.
So the Speaker of the House clearly making his way there. That gives the indication that shortly we should see the president also join.
That's new.
Yeah, because it's not 10 a.m. Wow. Maybe that's why it's on a Friday. And maybe we should have more of our Fridays, the Sona on Fridays.
We should.
Yes. So
I think we are done.
What
we have said, people have heard.
Now we hear from the president as well and get to know. But gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Stephen Esiedu, president of the Young Professionals Network. Audu Mahama, who is the managing editor.
So like heaven and hell.
But just that the white is more than the black.
Yes.
Yes, in Parliament.
It appears,
the significance of.
But many more people go to heaven than will go to hell, right?
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Not in this case.
Hopefully.
Not the broad way, the narrow
way. Ibrahim Al-Hassan, head of current affairs here. And of course, he's the man who always is in Parliament for us as well. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. So, we'll be bringing you visuals from Parliament, and I'm sure that today, DS, the golden boy, would have to also cross over quickly to Parliament to pick their feet. So, you see the minority MPs in black. And, okay, well, some are excited. Oh, Charlie, why is there... but the former sports minister is not smiling at all. Habib...
I like that.
All right, so let's go back to Parliament. Hanan is engaging Eric Edem Agbana there.
Yes, we are delivering. There's still a lot more to be done. But for the NPP to tell us that we are not delivering job creation is a figment of their own imagination, because I know that we are delivering. Look, the economy that we inherited was in a mess. Before you begin to employ people and again increase the people on your payroll, you need to do some basis, get the fundamentals right, which we have done. Today, the economy is being expanded. As we speak today, Ghana's economy is better positioned than it was in January 2025 when we took over. So we will have to do a lot more to increase job opportunities and opportunities for young people. But to say that we are not delivering it cannot be true again. Under the NPP, at the time they were leaving office, 2 million Ghanaian youth were idle, they were not in education, they were not in employment. That number has come down, and we continue.
But the minority says that has even worsened.
It has not. I mean, what is their statistics? We were speaking to facts. We are speaking to statistics. What is the NPP statistics? And I can tell you that the NPP is engaged in all this propaganda and whatever, trying to take away the goodwill of it, but they will not succeed, because the people of Ghana have seen that jobs are being created. Look, across this country today,
jobs are created. Jobs are created where?
Construction. Jobs are being created in construction. Jobs are being created in agriculture under the Feed Ghana program. Feed Ghana program. I have young people from my constituency who have gotten jobs under the Feed Ghana program. And this is what, so somebody just around is telling me that he is one of them. Jobs have been created in education. Why? As we are expanding our schools, as we are building new dormitories and all of that. Look,
employment in the schools and teachers are demonstrating. Colleges of education are going on strike.
That there was a backlog, but the NPP employed these people without any financial plan of paying them. So we are correcting the mess. We are correcting that.
1 year down the line, and you don't have the financial muscle to rope them in.
Because if you want to see how high somebody jumps, you need to know the depth from which the person is jumping. Look at the economy that we inherited. The economy was in a mess, junk status.
The minority and the MPP, the opposition, Adam, you have your bite. Allow me. They are saying that 1 year down the line, like I said, we are in this first quarter of your second year. They are saying that they don't expect you to be giving them this rhetorics. They expect you to be delivering.
We are delivering. And I'm telling you that when it comes to the economy and how well a government is performing, it is not the minority's words against our words. It is about the data. Dr. Bawumia told us that when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So today, if we are using that as a metric to measure how the economy is, we will look at it and say that the exchange rate today, Ghana's exchange system, the currency has appreciated by over 40%. So that tells you that the economy is better. Inflation was a major concern at a point. They took inflation to 54%, but today, inflation has come down to the extent of 3.8%. Again, food inflation has reduced from 22.2% to 6.6%. And so, across all the economic indicators are telling you that indeed this government is performing well. You cannot trust the words of.
But is it not also a fact that there are still major trading concerns? Quite a number of traders are complaining that their produce are not being bought. Cocoa sector issues are also, escalating amongst other things. So these indicators that you are talking about doesn't really reflect in what is happening on the ground.
The indicators are there for us to see. But let's talk about the cocoa sector, which they want us to believe that they are doing well. What was the NPP's performance under the cocoa sector? Look, they told us, we promised that we were going to pay farmers 70% of the FOB price. Is that not what we promised? And today we are paying them over 90%. If there is a situation where over 90,
you're paying them 90% and they are still complaining,
because the world market prices have come down. They have fallen. All of us know that for a fact. And this challenge is not peculiar to Ghana. Cote d'Ivoire and other countries where they are producing cocoa. So the point is that the mess they left behind are cocoa board. They led debt of 32.